Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Good to see you guys today. Thank you for making Obi-Wan a part of your weekend. Hey, I want to hear from you on this. Share with me, what are some of your favorite Christmas movies? Go ahead. Anyone? Grinch. Yeah, that's the Jim Carrey one. Miracle Elf, I heard. Santa. Home Alone. Did I hear Home Alone? Christmas Vacation, yes. Jelly. Who has a cousin Eddie? Don't raise your hand if they're with you right now. Someone said Miracle on 34th. Yeah, that's awesome. One or two more. Rudolph, A Christmas Story. Who has the lamp of A Christmas Story? Anyone? Anyone have the lamp? Anyone want that for Christmas? Hey, how about this? And it's okay. You could admit it. Okay. How many of you like Hallmark Christmas movies? Anyone? Okay, a few of you. We really are the church for imperfect people. No, I'm just teasing. You can like Hallmark. How many of you are like, you know what? Christmas Hallmark movies can die, not a slow death, a quick death. I mean, you're like, yes, they need to die a quick death. Last one. Let's solve the number one of all time Christmas movie controversies. You ready? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Oh my gosh, yes, okay, solved. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Yippee-ki-yay, right? Hey, love them or not, many Christmas movies share a theme. Someone feels empty, and then a perspective shift or a change inside of them brings life to them. And I'm sure we've all have faced times where we've felt somewhat checked out or things don't feel as meaningful, or where we're just kind of going through the motions. You ever been there before? Yeah. It feels like we're just kind of existing. I want to share some examples, but I want you to maybe find yourself in some of these examples. You don't have to if they don't apply to you, but maybe even think of your own. Maybe for some, it's just that consistent stress that just kind of erodes your vitality and your excitement. Or for some, it's just like, man, I keep trying, nothing is helping, I keep going, nothing is changing. And then before you know it, it's kind of like, what's the point? And kind of that loss of meaning or purpose can happen in someone. Or how about this one, feeling unseen? Have you ever felt like this? Never validated, always evaluated. Ever felt like that before? Never validated, always evaluated. And you just feel unseen. For some, it could be loss of self-respect. It's like, you know what? I never thought I'd become this person to chase after whatever the example is. I never thought I'd do that, and that's a loss of self-respect. For some, it's a little time for self, whether it's being in nature or doing something fulfilling to revitalize yourself. And during those moments, it's almost like when we don't do things that are fulfilling, we can almost just get stuck in our head. For some, it's a loss of a dream. Just like, man, like before, it's like, what's the point? I keep chasing this dream and it's not coming to pass. Or sometimes it doesn't even have to be a dream. It just can be the small disappointments that add up. But whatever you face, whether you found that yourself in those examples at all, life can feel diminished at times. It really can feel diminished at times. But I have some good news. Everybody say good news. Good. I have some good news. Jesus knew this. And so one of the reasons he came is to help us through the emptiness and fill us with new and fulfilling life inside. In fact, let's go to the Bible. We're going to see what it says about Jesus. In John 1:1, it says this: "In the beginning was the Word, And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So for context, when it's talking about the Word, you notice that it's capitalized. It's actually referring to Jesus. So I'm going to reread this and put the word Jesus in place of the Word, because that's who the Bible is talking about. In the beginning was Jesus, and Jesus was with God, and Jesus was God. So as we continue to read John 1, it's talking about Jesus. So let's go to verse 4. It says, in him, who's him? Jesus. In Jesus was what? Help me. Life. And interesting. Who's that life for? Us. That life is for us. See, Jesus is life. And the cool thing is he can bring fresh, new life to us as well. He's always full of life, and he's ready to give it out when it's taken from us. Right? Sometimes life is taken from us, and he's ready to give it out, deposit it into our spirits when it's taken from us. This is why he chose to come, so we could receive life from him. In fact, look what it says in John 1. Jesus, again, remember the word means Jesus. Jesus became flesh and made his dwelling among us. Merry Christmas, God with us, right? We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. Jesus even confirms this later in his adulthood. Look what he says later on in John. Now we're in chapter 10. He says this, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it little bit, teensy-weensy amount. I don't love them that much. No, life, and have it to the fullness, fulfilling. See, one reason Jesus came, I'm going to say it again. One of his purposes was to bring a full life to you. Seriously, guys, take a minute to let that sink in. How does that truth make you feel? He chose you and wants to bring new, fresh, and full life to you. Seriously, take like 10 seconds. How does that make you feel? You know, speaking of Jesus and this life that he gives, let's revisit some examples that I gave earlier to show how Jesus can do this for you. If you're one of those that feels like you're under a consistent or a mountain of stress, what does Jesus tell us? Hey, because I'm life, I have life for you. Stress, it's going to take life from you. Because I'm life, when you're under a mountain of stress, when you're weary, come to me. I can give you rest, and give it to me. Let your stress go. I can handle it. I will not lose life because you give me your stress. You're losing life because you're holding on to it, but I will not lose life if you give it to me. And as you give it to me, I will fill you. I will fill you with life. Or how about this one? Remember I said earlier, never validated, always evaluated. And you just feel unseen. God actually has this thought process in the Bible where he's like, hey, when that happens to you, do it for me. Work for me. Because your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, he tells us that if we do it for him, it's never wasted. Not just that it doesn't go unnoticed, but that it's never wasted. Or how about loss of self-respect? We've all been there, and Jesus is like, hey, do this. Give me your shame. Just keep giving me your shame, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a fresh start. Give me your shame. Let go of it. Let go of the shame. Ask me to forgive you. I want to give you a fresh start. What does fresh start do? It gives us life. Give it to me. Or how about little time for self? There's this really cool thing that God gives us permission for. It's so cool. So cool. You ready for it? Say you're ready for it. So cool. He tells us every week, rest. Rest. I know you're not computers. I know you're not AI. I know you're not ChatGPT. You need rest. Thing about that one, though, we have to follow it. Okay, I am going to trust you. I am going to trust you. So he's like, yeah, rest. You feel burning out? You feel stressed out? Come to me. I'll give you rest. And then practically what? Rest. Spend time with me. Connect with me. You can do it throughout your day too. Pastor Julian talks about this a lot, even a couple times a day, connecting with God for a few minutes throughout your day, just to even have those restful moments throughout the day. God totally believes in hard work, but he also believes in rest. So take it. That's how we can get life back. Or for some, it's again that loss of purpose. And Jesus is like, hey, I will come to me. Give that to me. I will help you live for treasures that last. I will help you live for treasures that last. And again, these are just a few ways among many that Jesus can bring life within. But sometimes it's common to think that we can find new and fulfilling life from other sources other than God. And I'll just say this. I'm not saying it never works. It just brings mixed results. It just brings mixed results. I'll give you a lighthearted example just from my world. So how many night owls do we have in the room? Night owl, some of you. Yeah, I'm a night owl as well. And my wife is a morning person. Any morning people out there? Okay. So yeah, night owl, morning person. I'm the one that's just like, oh my gosh, who made this hour of the day? Who thought of it? It's not a good idea. Robin's like, oh, the birds are chirping. I'm like, the birds are chirping. I'm trying to sleep, right? And then she's the type where like my brain starts to become, because I'm a night owl, my brain starts to become alive at night. And there's these times where because my brain is starting to become alive at night, where I want to go to Robin with all these ideas. And she says to me, like, I have 11.7 minutes of brain power left. In practical terms, I have about 2,000 words of conversation to give. Make it quick, buddy. Make it quick, right? That's just a lighthearted example, but it shows that even when people have life to give, it's limited. It's limited. But Jesus, he's not limited. He's up with the birds, if you need him to be, and he's up at 3 a.m., if you need him to be. He's not limited, ready to give you life. How about what we chase? Again, sometimes it happens. We get what we chase after. It happens. And it does bring a freshness to life for a while. But it doesn't last. People, experiences, or things can be great, but they can't fully satisfy us long term. Jesus, he loves blessing us outwardly. But material blessings were never meant to fully or permanently satisfy us. If they did, it would be all we need. It'd be all we need. And let's be honest with ourselves. We already know that. But guess what happens? We know it on Sunday and forget it on Wednesday. I fell for the chase again. Dang it. I fell for it. Sometimes, this is why it's mixed results too. Sometimes getting what we chase doesn't bring life within at all. There was a really, I'm not talking about a mid rock star. I'm talking about a really famous rock star where he talked about his journey to Christ. And I'm just going to read a few things that he said. He says this: all I know is that I was chasing all that stuff and it left me empty, nothing inside. I want you to get the paradox. He says nothing inside, and then he says this: I had everything. How can you have everything but have nothing inside? I had everything, but I had nothing inside. Money, girls everywhere, all the drugs, everything. And it was just so empty. The guy didn't say, I'm just like kind of a mid-rock star and I'm trying to get on my YouTube channel and it's just not working and I'm barely scraping. He had everything: the success, the people, the money. I'm empty inside. Empty. But then he says this: as soon as I went to church, I felt the love from Jesus. That's when I was fully satisfied. And I was totally done with everything in the world because I was satisfied inside by him. And I got filled up. See, this is what Jesus does. He brings life within. And this thought process of life to the full, I want you to think of words like super abundant. It's not even just talking about abundance, it's talking about super abundant, extraordinary, more than sufficient, superior in quality. That's what Jesus was saying when he came. That's the kind of life he can give us. This is why the rock star was satisfied. Even though he had everything most people would envy, he was still empty. But then he experienced the abundant, extraordinary, more than sufficient, and superior in quality of life that only Jesus can give. And guess what? Jesus can do the same for you too. He really can do that for you too. But is there something with the examples we talked about, or even if I didn't get to yours in your own life, is there something where you're trying to maybe find too much life in other things? And I've had that happen too. In fact, I'm going to share a story with you right now. Robin has always been someone in my life, greatest cheerleader, brings life to me. She's just been very consistent to me in that way. It's one of the many things I love about her. And one time I was really, really going through a really difficult time. And I just kept going to her and going to her and going to her, and she was really helping me. And then one time I go to her, and she's really thinking through this, and she says this to me: listen, I'm here for you. I care about you. I will always be here for you, but I'm not God. I can't be your everything. And she wasn't being mean about it. She was still being loving. What was she telling me? I'm limited. I can't do it all for you. And she was helping me turn to the one that's unlimited. She just realized that she was kind of at the end of her limitations. So she helped me turn to the one who has unlimited and could help anytime. So isn't that interesting? Even the people that are closest to us, they can give us life, but it can't be always either. Or again, how about something that you're chasing and it's just not all it's cracked up to be? Or going from experience to experience, surviving the in-between. What do I mean? Like vacation to vacation, right? There's a lot of in-between. Unless you're retired and you go like once a week, there's a lot of in-between, usually between vacations. And what is it about vacation times that goes like 9 times faster? You're like, please slow down. I'm going to be back at work in 3 days. Nothing wrong with vacation. It's just vacations can't last forever. Even when you're on vacation. I was just talking to someone this week about this great vacation that they had in El Salvador. And they were saying that, man, it was such a great experience. But that wasn't even 24/7 fun because eventually my body broke down and I had to go from surfing back into the hotel. So even when you're on vacation, it's not life all the time. Or the weekends, right? Saturday and Sunday are real and they're great, but Monday's coming, right? Dang it, why does Monday have to come? So even things that give us life, they just don't last forever. Or for some people, it's the againness of life. Say againness. Againness. It's kind of one of those things where it's like nothing new. No anticipation. It's kind of like rinse, wash, and repeat. And Jesus knew there would be times like that. Whatever you're experiencing, here's my whole point of sharing all these things. Maybe it's time to be filled by Jesus. Again, we know it. On Sunday, we even agree with it. Some of us even say, amen. And then Wednesday hits, it's like, crap, I forgot again. He really is the source of life. And I'm chasing after all these things that they're not even bad, but they're just not going to give you full life like we're looking for. Fill with His love, His grace, peace, perspective, comfort, or strength within. Now, to be clear, having life within with Jesus doesn't mean we'll never experience grief or sadness or disappointment. Jesus makes us whole. And so you can be disappointed or sad and still be whole. He just doesn't want those feelings to destroy you, but you can feel them and still have life. I don't know about you, but I'm just going to be vulnerable about me. There's been times where, again, life has been taken from me, whether that's a situation that hasn't gone well, or I just didn't feel right about something, or someone let me down, or an experience that didn't go the way I had hoped, or it didn't fill me the way I thought it should, or it didn't last as long as I wanted it to. And I don't know if you're like me. You don't have to admit it or not. This can just be between you and God. But sometimes I've blamed God for that. Why'd you let that happen? Why'd you let that situation? You're God. You can do anything. Why'd you let that happen? Why'd you let that person do that to me? If that's ever been you, I hope I can encourage you right now. Listen, He's not at fault. He's the solution when things or people let us down. He's the one we can turn to give us fullness of life when other things or people don't. Did you hear that? It's not His fault. He's the one we can turn to when other things don't give us life. Again, just talking about me, okay? It may have gone better for me during these times if this is how I handled it. God, here's just another example that has shown me that I can turn to You when I don't find life in the things I expected to. God, here's just another example of how I can turn to You when I don't find life in the things I expected to. I don't know about you, that's just me. It might have went better for me if that was my perspective at the time instead of, why God, why God? And God can, I don't want you to hear that wrong, God can handle our whys. He's not disrespected by that. I'm just wondering if it would have went better for me if that was my perspective instead of blaming Him, saying, thank God I can at least turn to You. Life's letting me down, people are letting me down, experiences are letting me down, they're taking life from me, but thank God that I can turn to You and You can give me life. I think Jesus would say, the life you're trying to find, that fullness of life that you're trying to find in that person or in that experience or in that material thing, and again, there's nothing wrong with any of those things, that life that you're trying to find in those things, you can find in me. Let me help. And guys, this is where you come in. Because Jesus did his part. Like that's the big picture. That's the whole point of the Christmas story, the Easter story, and the Bible in general, is that Jesus did his part. And our part is to experience him and respond to his grace by connecting with him personally. I mean, think of the wise men and the shepherds in the Christmas story. They didn't stop at hearing about Jesus. Wow, that was so cool to hear. Okay, back to life. No, once they heard, they went to him and experienced him personally for themselves. Oh my gosh, if this is true, I don't want to just go off someone's word. I want to experience this for myself. And that's exactly what they did. And both the shepherds and wise men's responses when experiencing Jesus was to thank and honor God. Like, wow, we're truly in front of the one who can bring full life. Wow, we're witnessing the miracle of God with us. And not only can Jesus fill us with life now when we trust him to forgive and refresh and renew and guide us, and we gain life that continues beyond death. That's how powerful, this is how full Jesus' life is. It doesn't even end at this life. It continues. And this is the true and good news that brings hope to people. And for a moment, if you've never trusted Jesus, can I encourage you, don't just hear about him. You're hearing about him right now. Talk with him. Ask him to forgive and guide you. And if you're unsure, that's okay. Ask him to help you experience him. Listen, the reason I'm on this stage, the reason Pastor Julian is on this stage, listen, is because we believe this. We believe that he can reveal himself to you. Because he's done it for us. And we've seen him do it for many others as well. What about for the many of us who have already trusted Jesus? How do we respond? Well, there's many ways to respond, but I want to encourage you with these 3 responses as we start to close. Number 1, refuse to just hear about God. Again, you're hearing about him right now, but refuse to just hear about God, but to also trust him to guide you and to experience his grace by connecting with him on Tuesday, on Thursday, whenever. He's there. Where you go, he is. You hear that a lot. Where you go, he is, because it's just so true. And we agree with it on Sunday. And then sometimes all of us forget sometimes throughout the week. So refuse to just hear about God. Be like the wise men. Be like the shepherds that are like, I've got to experience God. Or for some, maybe the response is gratitude. And it's determining throughout your week to find things to be thankful for. Sometimes it's just thankful for his grace, or thankful that he's giving you a fresh start again, or thankful that he's near, or thankful that he answered your prayer. I don't know. That's between you and him. And then number 3, refusing to just passively learn, but keep putting your faith in him into action. And what am I talking about there? I'm talking about not just agreeing with it on Sunday, but living it out on Tuesday. Saying, God, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust that you have a plan for me today. I'm gonna thank you today, whatever the example is. So as we start to close, there's one reflection that's gonna be up on the screen that I want you to just connect with God about right now. And also, like during this Christmas week, be connecting with God about, whether it's in the morning before you go to work, or if you have a little time on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, whatever works best for you. And it's this: is there anywhere in your day-to-day where you'd like to experience new or fresh life? Just think about that for a moment. In any area of your life, in your day-to-day, where you'd like to experience new or fresh life. And if that's a yes, like, yes, PK, that's what I want. Remember, it's not just about hearing. Connect with Jesus and ask him to renew or refresh that area of your life. Guys, he really can bring life. So receive it from him. So why don't we take this moment before the worship team comes out. Some of you might want to bow your heads and close your eyes and just take a minute or two to connect with God. Ask him to bring life to your heart, peace to your heart, grace to your heart, a freshness to your heart, newness to your heart. Whatever it is, take a minute, and then our worship team will close us in song. Love you guys.